slate host to the likes of the Rolling Stones, the Eagles, and Ringo Starr. But tonight it welcomes the King and his court as boxing returns to the Hard Rock Hotel in the joint on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. And another cordial welcome to the Cedric Kushner Sports Network. I'm your host, Arnie Tokyo Rosenthal. We're in Las Vegas, so I'm joined by a man that's known to boxing fans the world over. Of course, some people know him as James Smith. We affectionately know him as Smitty. You know, Smitty, this room is becoming quickly one of the best boxing rooms west of the Mississippi. I love it here.
I do, too. I mean, it's Ringo Starr, Carlos Santana, Casey and the Sunshine Band, and Arnie and Smitty, and some great fights, I think, tonight.
We play here.
I love it here.
We must be stars then.
I love it here.
All right. Speaking about loving it here, there's two guys that love boxing, and they're here tonight. I almost want to say jump ball when I talk about Marselles Brown and King Ipitan, two of the biggest fighters in the ring at the same time. And interestingly enough, Marselles Brown, 7 foot? Ipitan, 6'5". It sounds like the center and forward for the Lakers.
Well, these guys could have helped the Indiana Pacers in the hack-a-shack mode. King Ipitan, 6'5". He was very promising until he lost his only loss in 1994. Sort of a strange loss. We'll get into that. Marselles Brown, big guy, powerful guy. It's an interesting matchup.
Talking to Bobby DeFilippis, new manager of King Ipitan, looking to get him back on track, says this, in fact, is the tallest fighter that he's ever fought. He's not used to punching up.
It's going to be interesting, and I don't normally like, you know, tall heavyweights that tall. I don't like anybody 7 foot when you're 5'6" like I am, but this will be a very interesting matchup, and when you're in the heavyweight division with all the money that's on the line, a win here for Ipitan or Marselles Brown could really catapult them into some big money fights.
Well, big opportunity for Brown. Must win for Ipitan if he's going to turn out to be the recruit that they thought he was several years ago before the Bobby Crabtree fight that was alluded to by Smitty. Our opening fight tonight, Talmadge Griffiths back on the Cedric Kushner Sports Network, turning things around pretty good since his lone loss. He's had 2 first-round knockouts. Fighting Kurt Page tonight. We don't know much about him. Haven't seen him on this network before.
Well, what we do know about him is that in his 10 wins, they've all come by way of knockout. So he must have some power. Griffiths is a good athlete. And
all right, there he is, Marselles Brown, all 7'1", 6'11", depending on which
keeps going up.
Sheet. Yeah, he's getting bigger as time goes on here. Certainly, though, a formidable person in terms of height. Not an amazing reach, though, when you consider his height, though, Smitty.
No, really not. You know, he certainly is up there right at 7 foot, but he won't possess a really tremendous reach advantage over Ipitan. I think he might have a couple of inches on him, but not anything significant.
We're going to take a look at this matchup on paper, and Smitty, I don't remember ever this much height in the ring at one time in heavyweight history. 246, though, is a weight advantage over Ipitan, almost 20 pounds. Brown 7 feet to 6'5". Only the 3 inches, though, in spite of the height, and Brown the older of the 2 by 4 years. Nevada rules, 10-point must system. No standing 8 count, 3 knockout rule in effect tonight. Saved by the bell in the last round only. The doctor cannot stop the fight here, only the ref. Accidental butt. More than 3 rounds. We're going to the cards. Under 3 rounds, we've got a technical draw. Want to know more about these fighters? So do we, and Tom Triber's got all the answers. Official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our featured bout, and it is brought to you by Cedric Kushner Promotions in association with the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman is Dr. Elias Ghanem. Commissioners are Glenn Carano, Lorenzo Fertitta, Dr. Luther Mack, and Amy Ayub. The executive director is Mark Ratner, and the timekeepers are Jane Broadfoot and James Cavan. The physicians at ringside are Dr. Flip Homansky and Dr. Margaret Goodman. The 3 judges assigned, scoring on a 10-point must system, are Jerry Roth, Dave Moretti, and Bill Graham. When the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action will be Richard Steele. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Las Vegas, Nevada, it's time for our main event. 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting to my left out of the red corner, he's wearing purple trunks with black trim and weighed in at 246 pounds. A native of Louisville, Kentucky, he now makes his home right here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and has a professional record of 22 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw, with 20 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Marselles, more than a conqueror, Brown. And his opponent fighting directly across from him tonight out of the blue corner. He's wearing blue trunks with white trim and weighed in at 227 pounds. Hailing from Temple City, California, his record consists of 18 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 12 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome King Ipitan. Once again, your referee in charge, Richard Steele, now to give the instructions. 10 rounds scheduled.
Okay, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. I'm cautioning you again, obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
All right, well, you see the height in the ring there. I mean, this certainly eclipses Grant versus Lewis. They called that too big. This must be 3 big or 4 big, huh, Smitty?
At least. Again, it looks like an NBA lineup.
All right, Richie Steele calls for the bell, and this is scheduled for 10. King Ipitan won his first 13 pro fights before that Bobby Crabtree situation. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Marselles Brown starting out with a couple of nice jabs and nice right hand. He's busy from the get-go here.
Lands a left hook followed by a right, and he's got Ipitan in trouble already, and the rush showing on Ipitan, who hasn't fought in almost a year.
Brown's got to be careful not to leave himself too exposed. I think he hurt Ipitan with one of those right hands, but he's got to be careful not to leave himself exposed.
Richie Steele warning right now to Ipitan. Ipitan trying to establish that jab and keep Marselles Brown off him, but he's having a heck of a time doing it. Very rocky first minute here for comebacking King Ipitan,
who still looks in a little bit of trouble. That right hand hurt him.
Brown's got big punching power. He's got 20 knockouts in his 22 wins. Been stopped 8 times, though, so watch for a wild hand. If he drops that guard, he's going to get caught by Ipitan. This can go either way. But very fast first round so far from Marselles Brown. Uncharacteristic, I might say, of the performances I've seen of him as of late, although this is his first start of Y2K.
Ipitan trying to clear his head. Needs to throw his jab a little bit and try to get back into this first round. There he goes with the nice jab.
Oh, and a big right over the top, delayed droppage of King Ipitan. The king in his court in the ring, but he's on the floor right now. Richie Steele given a mandatory 8 count. Brown, a very good finisher.
That was a great right hand, Arnie.
Still almost a minute to go here in the first, and a very tough one. Ipitan looked like he was going down again. No standing 8 count here in Nevada. Ipitan trying to hold on. Very shaky legs right now. Brown wades in for the kill. They're right in front of us.
And Ipitan's doing nothing to try to keep Brown off of him.
Totally in survival mode at this point and trying to hang on and hold on as he's doing right there. Richie Steele having none of it, though, separates the fighters. Still 25 seconds to go. Left uppercut on the inside rocks Ipitan. Just looking to make it back to his corner. Look at those legs right now.
Yeah, he's wobbly. He's still really on Queer Street. Hurt by a number of right hands.
Brown continues to pummel him, using the jab. Best Marselles Brown has looked in ages. Oh, and a left hook almost drops Ipitan at the end of the round. A long walk back to his corner by King Ipitan.
Drop your hands, right? Drop your hands. You gotta keep them hands up, right? You understand what I'm saying? Don't drop them hands. Ipitan, look at me.
Yeah, give me some water.
Huh?
Give me some water.
Give me some water.
Water. Give me some water.
Big right hand over the top by Marselles Brown. He got all of that 86 inches of reach into that one. And at the end of the round, he landed a nice left hook that had Ipitan ready to go again. There's that left hook, and Ipitan was really ready to go. The King getting crowned in round number 1.
Round 2 of a scheduled 10 round, a big first round for Marselles Brown, dropping King Ipitan, then almost doing it near the end of the round for a second time with a left hook. Brown coming off 2 knockout losses of his own, really looking to get his career back on track coming in tonight, 22-10. How much of a change is having Floyd Mayweather Sr. in his corner, Smitty?
I think a tremendous change. You know, Floyd Mayweather Sr., one of the top trainers in boxing. You might see Junior finding out what it's going to be like without him. And again, he's very poised in there, Brown. Even though he's had Ipitan in a lot of trouble, he's setting up everything off the jab. You see him waiting patiently for the right hand to come across, and he really looks like a much improved fighter, even though he's had a lot of inactivity.
Ipitan's legs still not underneath him.
And he's not doing anything, not landing anything significant. He's trying to throw a few right hands.
Oh, and he's backed up one more time. Ipitan in big trouble again. Richie Steele taking a hard and close look at the 28-year-old Nigerian.
He can't get out of the way of the right hand.
Make that 29-year-old Nigerian. No correction, make it 28.
Ipitan's only fought 12 rounds in the last 5.5 years, and that's just way too much inactivity.
How about Monday morning quarterbacking the choosing of an opponent for Ipitan's comeback fight?
Well, you know, Marselles Brown on paper, 22-10-1. He does have 20 KOs, but this is going to be, any guy 7 foot is going to be a difficult opponent for anybody to fight.
I mean, again, you go by where it is on paper. He's been knocked out 8 times, though. 8 guys didn't find it that difficult to knock him out. Some of them were household names, some of them weren't, like Art Tucker and Bobby Crabtree. Same Bobby Crabtree who knocked out Ipitan in 1, knocked out Marselles Brown in 2.
Brown slowing down a little bit now, maybe letting Ipitan get back into this fight a little bit.
Under a minute to go here in the second. Now the secondary thought at this point is that Marselles Brown punch himself out here in the first 2 rounds.
He threw a lot of heavy punches and really put his weight behind him, and he could have. He looks a little fatigued here, slowing down. Ipitan still not doing enough on the inside, and I think once he gets on the inside, he should try to work that thin body of Marselles Brown.
Brown never passed 8 rounds, and the last time he was there was August of '95. We go into the deep water, things could get interesting. Ipitan's last fight, he went the full 8 in October of last year. Coming near the second, Ipitan starting to open up here near the end of the second round, and perhaps Brown did punch himself out as he seems very happy to walk back to his corner, and a warning near the end of the round for holding from Richie Steele to King Ipitan.
Goddamn ball fight, man. Come on. Listen, man. Listen. Get your ass out there and fight, man.
Well, as we start round number 3, a very unhappy Floyd Mayweather in the corner of Marselles Brown. Can't believe that his pupil at this point was tired at the end of 2 rounds.
Colorful instructions, to say the least. Ipitan got back into the round towards the tail end of it. Marselles Brown looking tired.
Marselles Brown just ate an uppercut on the inside. And he may be in a lot of trouble here right now. It's King Ipitan getting up off the floor in the first round, perhaps stealing the second right now, and a dead tired Marselles Brown may be ready to go, and this may be the 9th knockout of his career coming up here right now. He's been stopped 8 times. Ipitan's been off the floor in his career before to win. And a left hook. Drops Marselles Brown for the second time here in the 3rd. getting up very slowly. And we said he might have punched himself out in the first. And it's over. In dramatic fashion, King Ipitan gets off the floor from a pummeling in the first round. Not looking great the first half of the second, and you can see Marselles Brown fading halfway through the second round. Dropped here twice in the third round, and Richie Steele stopping the fight as King Ipitan perhaps now has his career back on track. He'll improve to 19-1-1. That's his 13th knockout. Very shaky and rusty first round by Ipitan. But after a screaming at by Floyd Mayweather between rounds, we take a look at the action here. There's that left inside, that uppercut. And Marselles Brown just drops down on one knee. It was the uppercut on the inside that did the damage there. Second knockdown. Right on the inside, followed by a left hook. And nobody yelled timber as the 7-foot tree drops down. Now, I don't think, though, based on this performance, King Ipitan's going to have trouble getting fights with other heavyweights out there. They're certainly going to take a look at that first round and the suspect chin of King Ipitan, but certainly not the suspect heart as he gets up off the floor. Brown's going to drop down to 22-11-1. That's the 9th time he's been stopped. It's the 3rd time he's been stopped in a row. That joins Donnell Nicholson and Jovo Pudar, stopping him at the end of last year. Very unhappy in the corner of Marselles Brown. Floyd Mayweather going crazy between rounds, screaming at him. Can't believe that Brown was exhausted at the end of 2 rounds. Ipitan could, and he took advantage of it. We're going to get the official time of the stoppage from our ring announcer, Tom Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute, 3 seconds of the 3rd round. Referee in charge, Richard Steele, calls a halt to the bout with your winner by technical knockout, King Ipitan.
All right, originally out of Nigeria, now residing in California. He'll improve to 19-1-1, 13th win by way of knockout. As we mentioned, Brown will drop down to 22-11-1. It's his 3rd stoppage in a row, 9th overall.
Very much, guys. Great job as always.
We got to think about it, but Smitty's got King Ipitan, and we're going to find out what his thoughts were in the first round when he was on the floor and how he managed the comeback. Take it away, Smitty.
Yeah, what a performance, what a comeback. First off, before we get to the good, let's start with, you were in a lot of trouble in round number 1. What got you in trouble first off?
You know, I was told, you know, he's very quick and he boxes a lot. Uses his jab a lot. Put my hands up, move my head. But since I haven't fought in 8-9 months, you know, I'm pretty rusty. And I know I would be able to knock this dude out, but he caught me with some good shots, you know. And God mercy, you know.
How much trouble were you in round number 1? You appeared to be even in trouble going back to the corner.
Yeah, I was dazed, but I'm all right. I'm very aware of what I'm doing. You know, I was dazed, though, but I was all right, you know.
Fighting a guy 7 foot, was that a tough, you've been very inactive. Was it tough fighting a guy that big in a comeback fight like this?
Well, honestly, if I was in my better situation, better boxer, better movement and stuff, there's no problem at all.
Let's take a look at some of the action that took place earlier in the fight. This is the first knockdown of the fight in the last round. You see there, again, Marselles Brown ran out of gas. Could you sense the fatigue in him?
Yeah, I did. I knew he's a 2-3 round fighter, you know. So the game plan was coming in, putting my hands up, use my leg a lot, go to him, take the fight to him, and move the first 3 rounds.
Now, you got him in trouble. Here's the end of the fight. Describe the action.
Well, I threw a right hand, right? And I missed it. So I just came with a hook, you know. I didn't think the hook was going to land, but I threw it anyway.
Here's another angle at the end. You showed, though, you know, after getting knocked down, you still, despite all the trouble you were in, you had a lot of power at the end.
Yeah, I got to. You know, I was ready for 10-round fights, you know. So 2, 3 rounds, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds wasn't no problem. So I had a lot of energy. I could stick with another 10 rounds if necessary. But the situation is he caught me with a good shot, and I didn't react very good on it. and I was dazed in the first round, but I knew I was okay. I came back in, and just like I told the referee, he came to my corner. Are you all right? I said, don't worry about it. I'm fine. You know, I came in the second round, put my chin down. I still got caught with some shots, you know.
One of the problems, though, when I first heard about you, you were a very, very hot prospect. You had the one loss to Crabtree. Why so much inactivity, and what are we going to see to eliminate all of that inactivity?
I had a lot of promotion problems. Management promotion, I was with Don King for a while, and, you know, Murad Muhammad. And all that stuff messed me up, and to regroup and recuperate and sign with new promoters took a lot of, you know, difficulty. But I'm back now, and I hope with these guys, they're going to keep me busy, because I want to be busy. I ain't never been knocked down before, so it's truly a hurt. It hurts me a lot to see myself go down like that. But thank God Almighty, I got up. You know, that's what makes a champion. You know, he who that has the will to stand up after being knocked down to win a fight, you know.
Where do you see yourself right now in the heavyweight division? A couple of more wins like that, and you could catapult yourself into some prominent fights.
All I need is 2 more fights. 2 more fights like this. There ain't nobody out there, honestly. This is a bad performance, but I'll be back, and I'll prove myself.
All right, it wasn't a bad performance. It started off rocky, but he found a way to get it done. King Ipitan, we'll see more of him, hopefully sooner than later, Arnie.
All right, Smitty. Well, yeah, we were looking for his picture on milk cartons for a while, but good to see him back. Rusty and dazed, but getting up off the floor and improving to 19-1-1.